What we have here is another extreme pre-workout.
This is crazy.
What's happening, guys? Hope your day's going well. Today, we're going to review Evogen EVP Extreme NO pre-workout. There it is. We're going to go over the ingredients so you know what you're putting in your body. And then we'll go over my personal experience on this. They were nice enough to send it my way. I have subscribers asking me, can you review this? Can you review that? And there were multiple subscribers that wanted me to review this for you guys. I got a hold of them, and it was easy peasy. They had no problem sending me the pre-workout, and I appreciate them for that. I don't think I have any discount codes for this, so if this is something you like, I'll put a link down below to their site, if anything, so you guys can go check it out. So, jumping right into the flavor, Tropical Thunder. This is a pineapple coconut flavor, and it was amazing. Great job on the flavor. No aftertaste, smooth going down. You could sip it if you want, or you could just down it because the taste was actually pretty good. So jumping right into the ingredient profile, put it right in front of me. We have 1 scoop. This is a 1 scoop, 2 scoop serving, and 1 scoop's going to give you 40 servings. 2 scoops are going to give you 20. 1 scoop is supposed to be 12.3 grams, and if you kind of go in there and get a heaping scoop, then take your finger over and flat level it, it's right around 12 grams. If you don't have a scale, that's a good way to actually scale it out. And jumping right into the ingredients here, we have 80 milligrams of sodium. This is for hydration purposes. This is going to help with signaling across the muscle fibers. So that's why it's in a lot of pre-workouts, and it's going to help with contractional capability in the gym. If you're low on sodium or you didn't eat before, it's definitely going to help with more power and output in the gym. Then we have the EVP Extreme NO Matrix. 6 grams of L-citrulline, vasodilation pumps, oxygen delivery to the muscles, which is going to help with ATP production, endurance in the gym. Then we have beta-alanine, 3.2 grams. This is for more reps, more sets in the gym. This is going to buffer hydrogen and other metabolites that might build up in the muscle to help you get through maybe 2-3 more reps that you couldn't get through without it before. But you do have to be saturated with this ingredient to have the total effects through the studies. Then we have arginine nitrate at 2 grams. I love nitrates. This particular form of nitrates, the arginine nitrates, is going to deliver about 260 milligrams of nitrates per 1 gram. So this is going to have 500 milligrams of nitrates, which is right in the middle of the suggested dose for some good vasodilation and pump. So I'll let you guys know how this thing hits. And this actually is a fast-acting nitric oxide booster. So this doesn't have to go through the process through the kidneys and turn into arginine or be degraded in the stomach. This actually goes from nitrites to nitrates to nitric oxide. So it's a fast-acting. A lot of it activates just straight from the saliva in the mouth. So great vasodilator. Then we have the EVP Extreme NO Muscle Hydration Matrix. We got creatine monohydrate at 2.5 grams, and then we have coconut water powder at 1 gram. And I did a short on coconut water powder. I'll put a short up there or a card if you guys want to check it out in more in detail. And then creatine, I think I did a card on that. I'm going to put it up if I did. So I don't mind creatine in a pre-workout. So if you are saturated, if you've gotten to that saturation point with creatine, and let's say you're under 200 pounds, 2.5 grams is a good maintenance dose. I mean, you can throw a little extra on there if you want, but creatine in a pre-workout is going to take the place of any hyperhydration ingredient that they might not put in there, which they didn't in this, which is betaine anhydrous or some glycerol, because this is going to be an osmolyte, so it's going to draw water into the cells. And the idea of that is for a little bit of cell swelling. We know the look, feeling bigger coming out of the gym, and also for the cellular hypertrophy that can be created within the cell by hyperhydrating it. So creatine, there's a purpose. It just depends on the companies and what their drive is and what they want to get out to the masses, those that actually follow them and buy their products. So I don't mind it in there. Then we have coconut water powder at 1 gram. This is rich in lauric acid, which helps with inflammation. It's got minerals in it. It's got medium chain triglycerides. The medium chain triglycerides help with energy production because they are fatty acids that are readily usable during training. And the minerals in it are sodium, magnesium, calcium, potassium, and a little bit of phosphorus. So good ingredient. Then we have EVP Extreme No Stimulation Matrix. It's not really a stimulation. This is the cognitive function matrix here. I don't know why they named it that. L-tyrosine, 1 gram. Cognitive function and focus. This increases the catecholamines in the brain. This transfers over to L-dopa, then into dopamine, and then it's transformed from that into norepinephrine and epinephrine in the body for cognitive function and focus. If you have some thyroid issues, low thyroid production, L-tyrosine actually will perk that up for a little bit of metabolism spikes. Then we have DMAE at 600 milligrams. This increases choline in the brain, but not acetylcholine. I did a short on that too. I'll put a card up above. So this actually will help. It inhibits choline into the receptors, which is interesting. But if you are low on choline, which can happen during training. So if we're training really hard and we're using up a lot of choline sources during our training, then you get to a low effect. So this will actually help stimulate the cholinergic receptors to actually take in some of that choline that has been elevated in the brain for cognitive function and focus and output. So that's a decent ingredient. And then we have some lion's mane at 500 milligrams. Lion's mane increases nerve growth factor, which is a protein, a peptide in the brain that helps with the repair and the creation of neurons. And this process, a lot of people experience a good in your head hit for cognitive function and focus. Then we have caffeine. We got a combination here. Natural caffeine from green coffee bean, 50 milligrams of caffeine from dicaffeine malate. So it's a 400 hit, and I don't know if that's total 400 milligrams of caffeine that you're just giving you the flat total, which is nice, or if it's a little bit less. But just so you guys know, it blocks the A1 and A2A receptors in the heart and the brain, blocking adenosine from getting to those receptors that can make you tired and sleepy. And caffeine is a base product for a lot of the nootropic hits that you're going to get because it affects serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, epinephrine. So it starts elevating those. So when you throw other nootropics and other ingredients on top of it, it just enhances all those other effects. Caffeine's a great all-around hitter for just any pre-workout. Then we have some yohimbine bark at 3 milligrams. So yohimbine activates or antagonizes the alpha-2 receptors, which helps with releasing fatty acids within the blood for energy production. But when it does do that too, it releases second messengers in the body, which then activate and release norepinephrine in the brain and throughout the body for some energy production. So getting into this Evogen EVP Extreme NO pre-workout, how did it do? So you first take the hit. So the beta-alanine isn't too strong on this, but it's long-lasting. So that comes in about 15 minutes, and it kind of hangs around for, I'd say, a good 40 minutes after you initially take it. And it's like a medium-level hit, which is nice. It's not too harsh. I do feel the endurance that's picked up from the beta-alanine, so we're good there. I know it's a pure source. It's good company, but it's just not like this hard hitting. A lot of that is affected by the other ingredients. Sometimes it hits really hard, and sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't necessarily all pivot on the quality of the beta-alanine. It's just how everything kind of comes together and is uptaked in the body. Energy comes in about 10 minutes, and it's not a stimulatory heart hit like the adenosine receptors have been hit. It's the head hit. So the head hit, clarity starts to come in the brain. You get an energy hit in the brain, and this focus hit is a pure focus hit. This is a dialed in, I'm actually on it right now, a dialed in, get you done type focus. It's not nootropic because it gets you in your head, but it's forward driven, if you guys know what I mean. So everything in front of you is enhanced. The clarity is enhanced, the drive to knock out your workout, the drive to focus in on the task at hand, so it's task driven, is right there in front of you, and it's amplified. Things that are going around you, that are behind you, aren't. So it kind of like dims the other effects of your world as far as anything that's going to come in, which is nice, and affect your training and your focus on what you need to do in the gym. It's like a medium high hit at 2 scoops, and it comes in really, really nice. And it stays with you for a good 3-4 hours after you've initially taken it. And it's a stimmed head hit. So it comes in, and when this thing drops in fully at about 50 minutes, because that's when the caffeine, the dicaffeine malate, everything just starts to drop in about 45-50 minutes, you are just ready to go. So the central nervous system hit, it's a medium-high stim hit as far as energy levels, but the central nervous system hit is not that bad. So you don't get like a lot of racing heart. The yohimbine comes in about 40-50 minutes when everything drops in as well. And it doesn't hit too hard, although in the background you get those mild yohimbine effects, but it just all kind of just comes in at the right moment, right when you're in the gym, and just gets you freaking knocking out a good hour and a half training session, just dialed in, focused, medium high energy hit. I wouldn't say this is a power driven pre-workout, but it's an endurance driven pre-workout. You might not want to do aggressive 1 rep maxes, but you can do your growth training as far as the 8 to 12 rep range, 8 to 15 rep range, and knock out 30, 40 sets on this bad boy, no problem. So the 1 scoop hit is just a lot milder. So the effects are still there, but it's just a driven down, mild hit. To me, it doesn't really drive me too much to get those effects as far as the perseverance, the drive, the focus in the gym, but it wakes me up, and if I took it on a day off, it would just drive me through the day, really focused and driven forward. But if you have to deal with things during your day that are outside of being target driven, then it might be a little difficult. So it's going to keep you in a target driven, task driven mode that's all forward for a while. My sweet spot is a scoop and a half on this bad boy. It's not over driven as far as the focus, dials down a little bit, but the energy is still there. So I love training on the 1.5 scoop. So I hope this helps. Don't have much more to say. I think they did a really good job on this. Oh, I do have more to say. The pumps on this bad boy, because I'm still feeling it right now. See, I'm in my head on this thing. The pumps on this bad boy, that's nitrates at 2 scoops hit, and they last for a long time. This is not really cell swelling, but it is a super tight, long-lasting pump that lasts for a good 4 hours with those nitrates in it. You do feel bigger coming out of the gym, so I feel the creatine osmolyte cell swelling a little bit, but it's not like 1 gram or 2 grams of glycerol type cell swelling, feeling bigger. But it's a nice driven hit as far as the pumps go. Great all-around pre-workout. They did a good job on this bad boy. So once again, going to spotlight it since they sent it my way. Evogen Extreme pre-workout. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. I'm going to get on with the rest of my day. I'll see you next time on the channel.